Hi, we're back for a second day in a row. This is Secret Agent Agency. I'm Kevin. Andrew, are you out there?
I am. Yes,
Jihun, are
sir.
you still with us?
Yes, I think so. Is my audio okay?
Yeah.
Damn, 5 hours.
Uh,
Oh
this
my.
is this is someone else's save file that I've saved over. Remember?
Huh. Yeah.
Okay, so hi. I lost my save from the first stream, so we were the second stream slash video was like off of another person's save file I downloaded. So that's kind of what we're doing. This is part three. Oh God, loud! I was not ready for how loud that was in my headphones.
And I was not ready for your hairstyle.
Oh, I still got the hair back here.
Oh, it's a ponytail. Okay.
Yeah. You think I chopped it all off?
Oh yes.
That'd be scary.
Okay, so if I remember, we're actually leaving here.
We want to
Looking
go
back would take
to
far too long.
Freddy's apartment.
Oh, right, because we crashed the... Okay.
We want to, I think, take a taxi.
Let's see. Quick recap in case some people are watching the archive, or maybe the other way around. Random died.
Maybe.
Oh,
It was
maybe.
Okay.
Why spoiling, bro?
This is anime logic.
Oh,
or like
okay.
any kind of game logic.
Oh, okay, you can. All right. I'll give you that. All right. And then what else? The evil villains told everything about their plan.
He's been like
Figures.
15 minutes talking to us about his grand plan.
Yeah, he's like very well. Even though you didn't actually ask about that particular part, I'll tell you everything anyway. Because you're gonna die.
Yeah, he gave us the whole like James Bond villain monologue. Which, by the way, I found out that like all the old like Sean Connery Bond films are free with ads on YouTube. That's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've only like ever seen like a couple of them, so I've been like going through and watching all of them recently. It's interesting.
I never liked Sean Connery's. What? No. Okay. Let me word it properly. When James Bond is portrayed by Sean Connery, for some reason his character comes out as a douchebag compared to other James Bond. I don't know if it. I don't know.
So here's the thing, Jihun. James Bond is a douchebag.
Right. But even was it Pierce, whatever that guy name? I need to look it up. But he didn't seem too douche. You know what I mean?
Oh, Pierce Brosnan? Is that it?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for some reason, I don't know why the way Sean Connery does it, it's like, it's like he has this attitude of I can do whatever I want kind of attitude. While the other person is like, I'm a confident man. You know, just something about the way they depict it for some reason.
So many James Bond movies. And there's one where, was it like cause global warming to expedite or something, and like the entire ice place he was at explodes. Too young
How
to
to be
die.
Quantum of Solace.
Is he dead?
No, I'm talking about one of the stupid ones.
Young now, stubborn one, wasn't he?
Jeez. He made it through that explosion and was waiting for us out here. If those things ever get control of the city, there's no way we'll ever get it back. We've got to stop them before that.
And to do that, we have to prevent the chief from getting to the Kyoto summit.
I know. I have to pay back my debt to Random.
Let's use this taxi to get back to Junker headquarters.
I planned on it. I just hope Mika and Harry are safe.
Is this implying that this giant building is Junker headquarters? That can't be right.
So this is the game that I bought.
Wait, why is there Sega building? Isn't this Konami game?
We're on Sega CD. And this game...
So FE.
So originally this game was for, God, I think like some old PC engine. I think like PC-88, I'm not sure. And it was remade with better like pixel art and an ending as opposed to a cliffhanger for the Sega CD. And then it was remade again with anime cutscenes and like an aesthetic. So everything was redrawn again for the Sega Saturn.
And then there's also an SD Snatcher game.
Yes. Which apparently has an English translation. I just don't know how interested I am in it.
Yep.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I ever seen a single cell phone in this game, right?
I mean,
Those didn't
this
exist.
game was made in the 80s. I don't know what to tell you.
That's exactly what I want to point out. It's
Yeah.
So I just find it interesting how like our science fiction, they're actually depicted by or limited by the imagination of time. Like drone was another thing until like 2010 or something like that, and then any sci-fi media always have a drone. Before then, it was never heard of. I just find it fascinating sometimes.
What I was really enjoying about like 80s, 90s sci-fi is how like large everything is, like all the connectors and pipes and wires and stuff. They're all very large. I guess they did anticipate that like we would be like focused on slimming things down and making things sleeker and smaller, you know?
Oh yeah, and then I guess and some people didn't believe that technology, whatever that's like computer, for example. Who would have thought that some computer back then was as big as a building and now it's as small as a palm of our hand?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they had that whole steam-powered computer in the basement.
Yeah, somehow that computer can predict the future or make a gambling bet. Yes, very high-tech steam engine computer. Yes. Even the Star Trek didn't have a cell phone. Oh, I mean, they technically did kind of talk to other crew members with something on their ear. With their badge, they press something on their badge like Ensign something or beam me up, Scotty.
All right, I'm going to open it, but please use extreme caution. Anything could be inside.
Mika? Maybe? Ooh.
Mika!
Oh no.
Mika, are you all right? Metal, how is she?
Her pulse is normal. The only external injuries are to her forehead, and they are not serious. There's been no significant blood loss.
Mika, come on, snap out of it. It's me, Gillian.
Gillian? Gillian!
Mika, what happened?
Gillian, the chief. The chief is a snatcher.
So he's finally shown his true colors.
Harry's...
What's happened to Harry?
Harry put me in the pod and sealed the main door. He locked the snatcher in.
That was smart. Not even a snatcher can get through this shield.
So where's Harry?
He said keep the door sealed no matter what happens in there. And then he went in. Gillian, please help him.
Harry! Mika, open the door. I'm going in. Metal, we're going in. Be careful. That snatcher could be hiding anywhere.
Yes, sir.
Gillian, please be careful. The chief is very cunning. Don't let your guard down.
Don't worry. I'll watch myself in there.
Maybe. And
Oh,
that's why
no.
they call him Cunningham.
Wow, Jihun. Okay. Well, this situation already looks dire.
Harry!
Oh. Oh,
Hey.
Gillian.
Shh.
Is that you? I'm getting old. Just look at me.
What happened?
I saw the chief messing with your turbocycle. And that weird picture in his office. Ah.
Metal, how is he? Metal!
I do not wish to say.
Really that bad, huh?
Gillian, when I confronted him about what I saw, he showed me what he really was. I was barely able to even scratch him.
That's enough, Harry. I understand. Metal, is there anything we can do for him?
Gillian, I'm sorry.
Harry, you'll be okay. Doesn't look like you're hurting too bad. This'll work out perfect. You always were working too hard anyway. Why don't you take a nice long vacation somewhere and rest up?
Yeah, sure. Nice try, Gillian, but it's my body. I know I ain't gonna make it. You were a good kid, Gillian.
Harry!
I don't know how to say this right, but I've always had a special feeling about you. I've always had trouble talking to people since I was little, like my father. What I can remember of him.
Pulse and blood pressure falling.
Harry, hang in there. You and I were gonna go out and tie one on, remember?
Yeah. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. You, me, and Jean, the three of us.
But John is...
Metal, quiet!
Gillian, I've lived my life alone. I didn't know my parents or family. Always so stubborn, glued to my research. I never really trusted anybody. That was a mistake.
Blood pressure continuing to fall.
Harry?
After Jean died, I felt it. Human warmth, companionship.
I know what you mean.
Gillian, I just wanted to get along with everybody. I don't need no Nobel Prize. For 50 years, I've been searching, trying to find something I lost. Looks like I'll never find it now.
Gillian, he's about...
Looks like I've been talking too much. It's up to you now, Gillian. I'm finished. You won't forget this, old grouch, will you?
Harry!
Gillian, you've got to believe in yourself. You're the last junker.
Harry! Harry!
Pulse 0. Pupils are dilated.
Cunningham! No! Snatcher! I'll get you for this!
We have no time for grieving. That Snatcher is still hiding somewhere here in headquarters.
Metal, listen to me. If that Snatcher gets me, you've got to take Mika and run. Then you've got to blow up Junker headquarters. Blow it sky high! You understand me?
Yes, sir. I just hope it doesn't come to that. So, where should we start our search?
Ooh. So the whole time through that cutscene, I just kept thinking to myself, These two have only known each other for like 2 days.
That's true.
And he's just 10 days away from his retirement.
It's so weird that, like, Gillian signs on and he ends up being the last Snatcher. I guess it's just him and Mika, who's like a front desk clerk.
I mean, yeah, that's the funny part. Like, for something serious as Snatcher, like, there's only 2 people, 2 agents. What? That's not enough, man.
Well, an engineer and 2 agents, and one of the agents just died, you know, so... But, yeah, like, apparently they have a huge building, and it's staffed by only, like, 5 people total that we know of.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre, like, I kind of felt like... I was under the impression that things were abstracted, like, you know, Junker HQ is, like, this huge place with, like, I don't know, maybe 100, 200 agents, right? And we only see a little bit of what we see because that's our little slice of the pie we're in. But no, they're saying that, like, straight up, this is it.
So maybe they rose minimum wage so high that they can't pay more than 2 people.
Or is that
Are you... Shut up, Mom. Shut up, Dad.
It could be one of those cases where, like, the job is so dangerous, nobody's volunteering. Come on, Gillian, they're Snatchers, not Transformers. They don't transform to small...
Leave no stone unturned. I messed up.
Oh, it doesn't have a cancel button.
It doesn't seem to. It could just be that it ate my cancel input. I don't know. I wasn't going to stick around for that long.
Maybe go back to the computer room and ask Jordan.
I can't imagine Jordan would know. Hey, hey, hey.
Oh, I see.
I kind of want to just let this go, see how big that puddle gets. Oh, I guess that's it. Okay.
Get your aiming reticle ready.
It's blood. There we go. Ceiling. Please, just fucking look up. Why is this so hard?
Oh, that is cool.
The lighting control system has been destroyed. Distance to motion readings increasing.
Is he trying to run?
Motion readings have vanished.
You got past me this time, Snatcher.
Headquarters emergency lighting has been activated.
Can we find him again?
We should go after him immediately.
We'll find him. We know he's somewhere inside headquarters.
The Snatcher has been wounded. We should look for traces of blood.
I think I'm just gonna keep cycling through until I see blood again. Oh.
Yeah, it's gotta move all the rooms.
This is another level of the point and click adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's no, not really the point and click.
Well, my point being is that, no pun intended, in regular point and click adventure, you have to try out every item you
The
have
main
to
door has been
until you
opened.
get the
Did
right
Mika open
answer.
it?
Shh.
Oh,
Wait, Mika's not in the pod. What happened?
The lighting has been disconnected.
Don't move, Seed. Cunningham, is that you?
I read motion. He is definitely in here.
Where are you? Show yourself. I'm right here. I don't need to run or hide from you. Mika!
No, Gillian, don't move. It's a trap.
A hostage? You cowardly scum! Mika, why did you open the entrance?
I don't know. I was really scared. I mean, the emergency light's coming on so suddenly.
Seed, go ahead and shoot! But you'd better be a pretty good shot, or this kid goes home in a bag.
Shoot, Gillian. Kill this thing. Don't worry about me.
Mika!
What are you going to do?
I have you now, Junker!
I didn't realize Mika's clothing was that revealing.
The Snatcher's functions have been terminated.
Mika, Are you all right?
Yes. Yes, I think so. Thank you.
Harry? I got him. Random? Sorry it took so long, but this ought to make us even.
Junker? You may have stopped me, but it's not over yet.
Gillian, this is just residual energy feedback. Its power levels are dropping rapidly.
Crane's Hospital was nothing more than a maintenance facility. We have comrades operating throughout the city, more than you can imagine. Now our plans will move into Phase 2. For that, we will enlist the help of Professor Lorraine. Your existence is meaningless, as long as you don't get your memory back. Good luck, Junker.
My memory? Comrades? Professor Lorraine?
Harry! Why, please tell me. Why do so many good people have to die?
Mika.
This is all wrong.
Mika, don't worry. I won't let anybody else die. I've made a promise to Harry and Random. But the city is still full of Snatchers. This fight is just beginning.
Gillian, I have an urgent video call from Jamie. I'll connect you.
Just beginning that there's a...
Gillian, I've got my memory back. I remember everything.
Your memory? So what about us, Jamie? Who are we?
Gillian, it's terrible. What we've done.
Jamie, what's wrong?
I can't tell you something like this over the video phone. I would have been better off never remembering.
Okay, Jamie, calm down. I'll head out right now. Where are you? Is it snowing?
I'm sorry, Gillian. I can't tell you. They've taken our boy hostage.
Our boy? Who?
Professor Modner is here too.
Jamie, what are you talking about?
I'm so sorry.
Snatcher!
Gillian!
We have Professor Lorraine. We only require her cooperation for a short period here at the Kremlin. So for now, I suggest you avoid doing anything foolish, Professor Seed.
This is where the original PC Engine game ended.
Okay.
Wait, that is the end? Wow.
It was.
The original game.
Yeah.
There's actually not that much more game. Final act is pretty short.
Yeah, we basically have like one dungeon and then a cutscene. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, dungeon.
With the start of this year's Kyoto Summit just 3 hours away, the delegates from the participating countries are beginning to arrive at the conference center. A major poll of domestic and international opinion, carried out just last week, shows that the vast majority of respondents favor a complete quarantine of Neo Kobe as a means to combat the risk of the Snatcher menace.
Now that the Chief's death has been confirmed, it won't be long before they strip us of our Junker authorization.
They will be deciding how to handle Neo Kobe at the summit in just 3 hours.
There are rumors that they're going to use nukes on the city to make sure the Snatchers are wiped out.
That's ridiculous. Come on, this is the 21st century.
That may not be as improbable as it seems. The world's leaders are extremely concerned about the Snatcher problem.
The Chief was going to calm this hysteria in his speech at the summit, but that'll never happen now.
3 months ago, government pressure on Junker operations increased dramatically. Gillian's transfer here was really our last chance.
Our own chief was snatched. It's not too surprising they don't want to trust us anymore.
I've heard that the Army and FBI are going to take over operations now.
That's correct. That too will be officially decided in 3 hours' time.
3 hours, eh? Is there any way we can find their hideout in that time?
If we don't, we and everybody else in this city are finished.
As far as they're concerned, we're just like a cancerous tumor that has to be cut out.
We have to hit the Snatcher's headquarters before then.
Gillian, can you do it?
If we only knew where it was, I should be able to manage something.
Hitting their outposts like Queen's Hospital won't do any good. We have to find their main nerve center.
What about the memory of that Snatcher who was impersonating the chief?
Just like the others, it was completely blanked. It's a form of self-destruct mechanism that they use.
Wait a minute. Mental. What about tracing that video phone call from Jamie?
It was no good. The call didn't last long enough. Still, it definitely did come from within the city.
Damn. Where are they hiding?
Gillian, can't you remember anything at all? Didn't Jamie say something that implied you were somehow connected to the Snatchers?
Nothing. I can't remember a damn thing. Metal, I want you to tell me everything you know about me. Why was I sent to Junker headquarters? Where did I come from?
Gillian...
Metal, the chief's dead. Tell me everything you know about me.
Well, you see...
Metal!
All right. With the chief gone, you are the highest-ranking officer here.
You knew all along?
Of course.
Where were we rescued from?
3 years ago, you and Jamie were taken into protective custody in the Siberian Neutral Zone by the 17th Siberian Investigative Force. More precisely, you were discovered in cryogenic sleep pods in an underground bunker near Moscow.
Cryogenic sleep pods? You mean they were frozen?
This is a photograph of the bunker. There is no record of when you were placed there. In addition, the third pod was empty at the time you were discovered.
There were 3 pods?
You were revived and taken into custody by the Army. Apparently, as a result of the extended sleep, both of you suffered from complete amnesia. However, another theory suggests your memories may have been intentionally erased. This is the only piece of evidence found at the site.
That's Harry's picture, from when he was a kid.
That's correct. Harry is Gillian and Jamie's son. It's been confirmed by DNA tests.
Harry? Harry was my son?
Using the information gained from the photo, it was established that you are Gillian Seed and your wife, Jamie Lorraine. Both of you are American citizens, born in the late 1960s.
The 1960s?
In addition, both of you vanished without a trace in 1989. There is no other information available about you after that.
1989?
Yes, you come from a world that's been gone for 50 years.
But what does that have to do with the Snatchers?
When the 17th Special Investigative Force was bringing the two of you out, there was an accident. Though the two of you were all right, most of the 17th was killed. One of them was a Snatcher. Of course, before their departure, they all underwent thorough examinations. So, if one of them was snatched...
It had to be somewhere in Siberia, right?
That's correct. And in order to attempt to determine the origin of the Snatcher, as well as your true identities, you were assigned to Junker headquarters. The hope was that exposure to the Snatchers would help you regain your memories.
Moscow? 50 years ago?
Almost everyone who was in Moscow at the time was killed in the catastrophe.
So Gillian and Jamie are the only living witnesses?
Harry. Harry was my son. Did he know?
No. It was highly classified information. He was never told.
I was never able to do anything for him.
Wait a minute, Gillian. Didn't Jamie say something about taking a boy hostage?
That's right. They must know about Harry and are using him to threaten her.
We have to find their headquarters quickly.
We've only got 3 hours.
Gillian, let's think this all through again. We may get some kind of a hint out of it.
You're right. There may be some clue in the way they're operating.
All right. Let's go over what we know about them.
If you need help with anything, just let me know.
I'm not certain if it's ultraviolet rays or the sun's rays. I didn't
It's
expect.
UV.
Okay.
And sunscreen.
Yeah.
There was a lot of plot twists thrown within 30 minutes of the show.
Oh, hell yeah. Buckle in.
Yeah.
I've remembered some things. Actually, I
Yeah.
remembered the twist with the sun thing.
Yeah, there's more later. Oh yeah, this game was made in like the 80s and 90s, so like the whole like destruction of the ozone layer is fucking in the game. Remember that?
Good old ozone.
Yeah, pump out more O.
Ah, fuck.
It's underpass.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, they said tube liner or like subway tunnels or something.
Series of tubes.
the city, Russia.
In what is it? What's it mean? In Mother Russia, Russia is city too.
In other words, this homing instinct thing of theirs has led them to set up their headquarters in some place that reminds them of home, or their creator.
What part of this city is like Moscow?
Moscow's really cold, right? They get a lot of snow, don't they?
Snow?
No snow has been recorded in Neo-Kobe in several years.
Well, then that's not it.
Wait, what about that pollen? That crystal bioengineered stuff, Snow 9?
Now that you mention it, wasn't it snowing on Jamie's video phone call?
That's right. Their hideout has to be somewhere close to the Ina River.
The Ina River flows for miles around here, Gillian. We could never search it all in time.
Was it not Ina
Let's look at
River?
a map of the areas investigated so far. This is an enlarged view of the southwest portion of the city around the Ina River. This blue area is that in which Snow 9 is
English
present.
is hard.
Now I'll superimpose a chart of the abandoned tube liner tunnels. From this we can establish those areas with Snow 9, which are accessible by subway tunnel.
Damn. Nice try, but it's still too large. We could never cover it in 3 hours.
But wait.
Don't give up so fast, Gillian. What about that image of home thing we were talking about? Maybe there's some kind of geographic similarity. Maybe the same view can be seen or something.
I'll display a map of Moscow alongside.
What's this?
Look, the rivers are exactly the same shape.
This is the Moscow River over here.
It looks like we're on the right track, Metal. Show us the location that Jamie and I were picked up from.
All right, right here.
Metal, before the catastrophe, what was at this location?
The headquarters for the entire Soviet Union, the Kremlin.
The Kremlin? That Snatcher said something about taking Jamie to their Kremlin.
Metal, what spot in Neo Kobe would match up with the location of Moscow's Kremlin?
Calculating. This is the spot. It's presently occupied by an old church. It's rather large, but reports indicate it's been abandoned for nearly 20 years.
And it's right in the middle of the Snow 9 and subway area.
That's it! That's their headquarters, their new Kremlin.
Gillian, let's go!
Wait, Gillian.
I want to go with you.
Sorry, Mika.
Hey, I'm a junker too, you know.
I know, and you're a great one at that.
So take me with you then.
You head to the summit to warn the delegates. They haven't given up, you know.
The summit's in Kyoto. I'm not going to be the only one to run.
You've got to convince them not to use nukes on Neo Kobe.
We found their hideout. There's no need now to sink the whole island.
Yes, but...
It's a tough job. Can you do it?
Okay, Gillian. I'll do what I can.
Thanks. Thank you, Mika.
Don't say it, okay?
Let's go, Gillian!
Gillian?
Yes? What's wrong?
How about dinner sometime?
Dinner?
Yeah, you know, dinner.
Mika.
Not interested. I thought it would be nice, you know, to kick back, relax. It's Christmas after all.
Christmas, huh? I'll be back by then.
Gillian, we have to hurry.
That's a promise, right? I heard you.
Yeah, okay. But I gotta go to church first.
I'll see you soon then.
Okay, Metal, let's go.
Oh yes, this was a Christmas game, I forgot.
Yeah. I took that off of the stream title because it didn't feel right doing that in mid-January anymore. Alright, let's go to church.
I've input the map data on the Kremlin's locations. Lift off. Flight configuration, now gaining altitude.
Jamie, please be safe.
Gillian, please keep in mind that we're working with a strict time limit.
A 50-year debt in 3 hours. Snow!
Snow 9, to be specific. We've entered the Snow 9 region. Please put on your breathing filter. Direct inhalation is dangerous.
All right.
Radio transmissions will also be impossible from this point on. Understood? Now descending. Conversion to hover configuration complete. Gillian, we've arrived.
This is getting pretty intense.
Is this gonna be like cutscene heavy from now on?
Yes.
After a certain point.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. Who knows what kind of cutscene I'm gonna interrupt?
I'll let you know. I don't want you to live in fear, Jihun. It'll be okay. I'll just shush you when the time comes.
We're living enough here these days. We need for more.
Have you ever gone outside of US ever?
Yeah, I've been to Canada.
Okay. What about you, Andrew?
I've been to Mexico and a couple of the Virgin Islands.
Okay.
All right, now opening the door.
You know they
What's
they say,
wrong?
like, not
Won't
many
open?
Americans actually get
I've
to
scanned it,
experience
and it's not locked.
the
It is
experience
probably
outside of
rusted into
America.
place.
Not surprising.
Yeah,
After all, our friends always go in and out through the basement.
Let's push it together.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
That got it.
Man, somebody had a lot of fun with like a mode or something. I'm enjoying the sound so much.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you meant. I was like, what is it? Oh, that.
That's the Earthbound.
Yeah, like some kind of synthesizer. Somebody had a lot of fun.
I gotta say, like, it's impressive how they come up with the sound sometimes. Like, what is it? Only thing I can think of is because I saw the behind the scene, one short behind the scene video. I was like, the Zergling from StarCraft, they're actually pig sound.
This picture is a. Okay, yeah. I remember what's going on here. Yeah.
It is?
Yeah, so I play a game called Warframe, and they regularly do like dev streams, like this is how we made the thing, right? And they have like a Zerg like monster species called the Infested, and basically they did a little show off thing where like the sound designer like took like audio recordings of his dog eating.
Oh god.
And then like combined it with his own voice going like yeah, there's like a video of it online. It's really funny.
I wonder how large does the audio sound designers or engineer? What's the proper title? Sound designer or sound engineers?
I would say, given the distinction, the sound designer is the one who like makes the sound, and then the engineer is what makes it sound good, like cleans it up. Yeah.
I must say, like, I wonder how big their files are. Like, sound designers are their personal library of sound. They must be recording random ass sound so they can experiment with it. And it must be like terabyte or something.
So Jihun, have you been paying attention? Have you figured it out yet?
No, because there's so many cutscenes going on.
I think I sort of remember.
This painting really looks like random, but it's titled Modnar.
What could that mean?
I think Finn is saying hello. He's been very chatty.
Do your cats like scratch the door middle of the night? I'm not talking about like
No.
9 or 10 p.m.
No, Finn just yells. He wakes me up in the morning when Mom lets him out.
Okay.
Keeps me on a schedule.
I mean, you know what they say about the past? They're the perfect alarm clock to wake up on. I just realized, do cats, if you have a backyard, do cats do their business in the backyard or do they still use it?
Probably in the backyard.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna want to save at some point.
Oh yeah, it's been a while since you saved.
Thank you for the very subtle note.
Well, oh, you made the mention.
A complete snatch.
This is where they fuse the artificial skin onto the Snatcher's endostructure. First, they adjust the size of the still skinless Snatcher to the size of the individual who is to be snatched. The Snatcher's overall shape and size can be adjusted by expansion or contraction of sizing rods. Their sex is controlled by gender units, which are installed at this point. Then, the face is modified to match the intended victim by adjusting the size of the upper and lower jaw, cheekbones, temporal bones, and tooth alignment.
Just like Gibson said, that means there are limits to the size of the people that they can snatch.
That's right. The limits of the mechanism mean that they can't snatch children, the elderly, or people who are very tall or heavy. And this is where the artificial muscles attach.
Is it organic?
No. It appears to be coated with a type of plastic gel capable of mechanical response. Like human muscles, it creates mechanical energy through chemical reactions. And this is where the artificial skin is attached. In order to prevent the synthetic cells, developed using biotechnological protein design techniques, from rejecting the inorganic material below, they attach it gradually over a number of days.
And this is the stuff that gets cancer if they stay out in the sun too long.
Finally, they attach body and scalp hair. The process involves transplant of synthetic hair follicles as well, so the hair will grow back if it's lost.
What about scars or birthmarks?
It would appear that they make those adjustments at this point in the process, as they would for wrinkles to simulate age.
I just love the constant beeping. That's just what I really like from my sound design.
You could add some sick beat to that tune, man. It's.
Thank you.
Like low health noises.
Hey, listen to Sonic underwater themes. Underwater sound are hard.
That is great.
So this is where the whole thing begins. The endostructures arrive here from the Kremlin. Then they convert them into copies of their victims. And finally, they head out into the city using the old subway system.
With artificial skin maintenance being handled at Queen's Hospital.
But who's behind all this?
Gillian, look at this. There are some finished snatchers over here.
Get a load of this. The U.S. President, the Prime Ministers of Japan, and the UK.
Gillian, you're in here too.
Figures. They were looking to snatch every VIP at the summit.
And the last junker, you. It definitely looks like they plan on moving out beyond Neo-Kobe.
If they were to snatch every major world leader, they'd practically be able to control the planet. Still, that's odd. With their flawed skin, pulling something off like that would really be difficult.
Chin said they had found the key to developing a perfect artificial skin. Maybe they've already produced it.
No idea. But the number of snatchers here makes it clear that they're up to something new.
Gillian, this is definitely their nest. We should destroy everything.
Not yet. Not until we found Jamie. Metal, how much time do we have left?
The summit should have begun by now. We don't have much time. And once our legal privileges are suspended, I won't be able to help. In fact, I'll be forced to restrain you.
I know. If the military wants to avoid nukes and goes for a surgical strike on this facility, what would they likely use?
Probably a phased particle beam from one of the attack satellites.
A phased particle beam, huh? That'll wipe this complex right off the map.
Everything, including the soil, will simply evaporate. The attack will leave just a large crater.
Metal, can you convince them to give me another hour? Even 30 minutes will help.
Understood. I'll try my best.
And I'll try to find and rescue Jamie in that time.
I can't transmit here due to interference from the Snow 9. I'll have to leave the area and then send the message.
All right. Do it, Metal.
Gillian, don't forget. 30 minutes. You must get out before then.
I understand.
Gillian, I'm sorry I couldn't help you better.
Don't worry about it. I'll be able to move faster by myself anyway. 30 minutes should be plenty. Go, Metal!
Yes, sir. Don't forget, 30 minutes!
"30 minutes? Oh, this is gonna be tight. That room's the only place left to check. Let's take a look.
Oh, man. The funny thing is, there wasn't really a button prompt before this, so it's just like, hope you're paying attention.
Yeah, thing I'm reading here says they kind of like fake you out a little bit. They had to jump around.
Yeah. I guess you've noticed that. Oh my god!
Oh.
Hey, this is legit, like, terrible.
Maybe go to the save state.
Yeah, but I mean... Alright, you want me to, like, really just be a scumbag about it?
No, after you beat it, maybe save state. You can't save it.
Oh,
Yeah, Metal Gear's gone.
I mean, there's no real reason for me to save, unless, like, I don't know, it crashes or something. A little bit.
Time crisis that
I wasn't ready for that. They almost got me. All right, let's open the next door.
God. That was a real pucker moment right there.
Doesn't look like there's anything here. Whoa!
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Yeah. Ah.
Jeez, these guys are tough. Of course, I didn't exactly expect them to welcome me with open arms. Okay, let's try this next door.
This should be like the Doom Guy portrait where they update all of Gillian's like pictures with like how much blood there is.
Now we go back to Andrew's Ma talk.
Jamie, are you all right?
Gillian, you came for me.
Are you hurt?
No, they won't lay a finger on me. Not until the new artificial skin is completed anyway.
Artificial skin research? You?
Gillian, I've got my memory back. All of it.
What happened? Tell me, Jamie.
They said they'd kill him. They said they'd kill Harry. They forced me. I had to help them with the skin development. They said I had to help them because the professor was ill. Wasn't getting any better. Gillian, the engineer Harry, he's our son. He's been living on his own now for 50 years.
Jamie, I'm afraid that Harry's...
There was nothing I could do. They forced me. But I can't do it anymore.
Jamie!
The professor, he just died. He was over 100.
The professor? What? This old man?
Don't you remember? It's Professor Modner. Professor Petrovich Modner.
What? This old man is Modner?
He's been confined here for 3 years now, just to develop the Snatcher's artificial skin. Terrible. Doing that to your own father.
Whose father? Jamie, I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
You really can't remember, can you?
Jamie, tell me. Tell me who I am. What were we doing at the Kremlin?
Are you sure you really want me to, Gillian? It's all so awful, but if you must know, I'll tell you. Try to remain calm, okay? 56 years ago, you and I were involved in a top-secret Soviet project. It was still during the time of the Cold War. The gulf between East and West was as wide as ever. Everybody was worried about nukes. At that point, the world's armies were at their largest ever. Leaders still believed that a strong military meant a strong nation. There were rumors that there would be an agreement to end the production of nuclear weapons. On the other hand, the major powers like the US began to get involved in a space weapons race. But not the Soviets. The conservative despots in the Kremlin had another, completely different idea for gaining military superiority. A horrible plan, something no one else would think of. At that time, the countries of the communist bloc were facing an economic crisis. Popular movements pushing for democracy were springing up all over. Communism itself was facing extinction. Facing pressure from the reformers, the Kremlin began to panic. And that's when that horrible, childish plan was launched.
And that was the Snatcher project. Replace your enemy's leaders with puppets of your own. Then you control their governments, their economies, take over a country from the inside out.
That's right, Gillian. And to develop these robots, they assembled some of the most brilliant scientific minds from around the world. Some of them were even brought in against their will. At the crux of that development effort was a group called the Frankenstein Project Team. You and I were members of that team, Gillian. It was a 4-person team led by the late Professor Modner here. The robotics expert was Professor Modner himself. His son, Elijah Modner, handled genetics and microbiology. For nanobiology and picobiology, myself. And for behavioral science and psychology, you, Gillian. Early development was carried out at a lab in Novosibirsk, but was later moved to a secret facility under the Kremlin. At the time, the Glasnost and Perestroika movements were gaining momentum, and they rightly feared for the existence of the program if it should become known. But some of the reformers did learn of the project, and they conspired with the US to block it. Gillian, you were a CIA special agent sent by the United States to infiltrate and sabotage the project.
I was CIA?
Yes, and the government knows that. That's why you were assigned to the Junker team.
What? Who am I?
Work on the project continued to go smoothly. But then, on June 6, 1996, there was that accident. A mysterious explosion at the Chernobyl facility spread a bacterial weapon that was under development there into the atmosphere, destroying the country and the project. Gillian, was it you? Did you set off that explosion?
What? You can't be serious. You think I caused the catastrophe?
Somehow, during the confusion, Professor Modner and our son Harry managed to get picked up by American agents. But we couldn't get out in time, you and I and Elijah. In a shelter below the Kremlin, we entered a cryogenic sleep. Our plan was to sleep there until the toxic effects of the bacteria were safely passed.
And then 48 years later, 3 years ago, we were discovered by the 17th Special Investigative Force.
Yes, but when they found us, Elijah's pod was already empty.
Elijah Modner? That guy whose picture was in the church? The one that looks like Random?
That's right, Elijah is alive! Elijah is here and working on the Snatchers.
Why don't you let me finish your little story?
Who's there?
It's been a while, hasn't it, Jamie? Ah, yes. And Gillian. It's me, Jamie.
Elijah? Is that really you?
Random? No, not quite.
So you remember me, do you? I am Elijah Modnar, the only son of Professor Petrovich Modnar. I'm afraid I've grown somewhat old and feeble since we last met, however.
Elijah, why are you doing this? Your father, Professor Modner, he passed away a few minutes ago.
What? My father? My father is dead?
Elijah, what happened to you? The Elijah I knew could never do anything like this.
I've changed, Jamie. These 40 years have changed me.
I can't believe it. What happened to you?
What happened to me? Jamie, do I actually have to explain it to you? Jamie, it's you. Your beauty is the cause of all that has come to pass here. 57 years ago, I was obsessed. With my research, yes. And with you, Jamie. At the time, I was still young, having just graduated with my genetic engineering degree. My father's connections got me on the team, and there, I met you. You were working as my father's assistant. Your beauty, your smile, I was stricken. I saw something in you that I never felt with women of my own country. You warmed my cold, young heart, Jamie. You opened me up, and I couldn't stop my feelings.
Elijah.
Oh, I was so happy. The political situation was crumbling around us, but every day was a joy. I gained my father's trust, and with you there watching over me, I was able to work as hard as I ever have on the project. However, my happiness did not last for long. Gillian, it was you. You showed up and all was ruined. You arrived and joined our project team. Far from home, Jamie found comfort in a man from the same land. Your relationship grew quickly, and all I could do was stand by and watch. Jamie and Gillian fell in love, were joined, and even had a child.
Harry.
Even then, my feelings for you only grew stronger. Worried about me, my father tried to have me removed from the project, but I persisted. Jamie, I always wanted to be near you. And then, the democratic movements that had consumed the rest of the Eastern Bloc spread to our country as well. The Cold War was over. The hardliners who had pushed for its development were stripped of power and the project was cancelled. The reformers, trying to cover up the existence of such a crazed project, ordered that all materials related to it be destroyed and that we stand trial for our actions. Jamie and Gillian were to be returned to their homeland. That's about the time that I learned that you, Gillian, that you were a CIA agent, and that you were trying to pass documents on our research to your military. The country had sold us out. I'm no politician. I couldn't care less about what happened to the country. All I cared about was my research and Jamie. And I was to lose all of that, everything. For someone so young, you cannot understand how great of a shock that was.
Elijah.
That is when I decided, I swore I would see that secret crazed project through to the end. At the time, the bioroids were 80% finished. The main part, their endostructure, was essentially completed. But we still were having trouble with the artificial skin, the area that Jamie and I were assigned to. We called it artificial skin, but there was of course no need to duplicate T lymphocytes, Langerhans cells, or endocrine cells. All we needed was keratinized cells and melanocytes to provide the pigment. With the artificial protein development techniques that we had in those days, full-scale synthetic cell development was very difficult. Research like this took months, years. The original project called for us to simultaneously snatch an entire country. In other words, a whole nation, or an entire city, had to be snatched over the course of one night. For that reason, a powerful biological agent, which could quickly and effectively kill the population of the country, was being simultaneously developed.
Lucifer Alpha.
That's right. A type RAO11 virus which another team was developing. For someone like myself, who was closely involved in the project, blowing up the lab was quite a simple task.
My God, Elijah, do you know what you're saying? That explosion killed half the world's population.
I moved all the materials and records essential to the Bioroid project into the shelter and executed my plan on June 6th. After sealing off the lab, I brought the two of you with me to the underground shelter and we entered a cryogenic sleep. But not before I programmed an atmospheric research satellite to transmit a wake signal when the danger from Lucifer Alpha had passed.
And 10 years later, Lucifer Alpha naturally mutated into a non-toxic form.
But the automatic revival system failed to work.
Oh no, it worked. Just as planned. It revived me 10 years later. A little sooner than the two of you, of course.
But even though you sealed the lab with the explosion and everything, you should have been exposed. Why weren't you?
Oh, I was. But by that time, the vaccine L Angels had already been developed.
So everything went just as you planned it then?
Yes, up until that point. But my real struggle was yet to come. My original plan was to revive Jamie as well, and for the two of us to finish the development of the Bioroids. You, Gillian, you were to stay asleep forever. But I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Not after looking at Jamie's peaceful face there in the pod. Besides, I could never have convinced her to work with me on the project anyway. I knew the time was not yet right, so I changed the timers of your pods to permanent on.
How? How could you do such a thing?
And so for the next 40 years, I worked alone in that cold and lonely room under the Kremlin, trying to complete the artificial skin for the Snatchers. For days and days, no one would visit me. I never saw the sun or felt the changing of the seasons. Still, I always had Jamie by my side. You were always there for me to talk to. Just you and I for 40 years in that dark cellar.
Oh, you poor, poor man.
And then, 3 years ago, my research was finally completed. First, I snatched the Siberian Special Investigative Forces to establish a transport route for the Snatchers. And then, to test the effect of large-scale snatch operations, I chose Neo-Kobe City to be my experimental sample. Neo-Kobe is cut off from the surrounding areas, a sort of miniature country in itself, making it a perfect test site. And since it's a melting pot of various races, it would also allow me to gather extensive data on Snatcher modification and operational techniques. In addition, the element of suspicion or mistrust, which runs deep in Japanese culture, was another reason I chose this site.
But your test revealed a critical flaw in your machine's artificial skin.
Yes, quite unexpected, I'm afraid. All my research for 40 years. I gathered data and worked day and night to find a solution, but nothing seemed to work.
So that's why you decided to bring Professor Modner here, right?
That's correct. I discovered my father in one of the government's hospitals. He was old, but still very sound of mind. Naturally, he would not cooperate with me.
Of course not. He'd never become involved in something like that.
So, unable to receive his assistance, I decided that I had to have yours. But a mistake on my part allowed both you and Gillian to be taken into custody by the authorities first.
Just what are you trying to accomplish, Elijah? You must know you can never get Jamie back.
I'm only interested in discovering what I can of the human animal. In the past, it was because of Jamie. My motive is different now.
It sounds like you're just suffering from the wild arrogance that corrupts so many scientists.
Humans are such weak creatures. No matter how much they trust one another, the tiniest speck of suspicion can destroy it all. Look at how the Snatcher problem has caused such wild unrest. No matter how much science advances or how high we set our ideals, we eventually begin to suspect each other, to hate each other, and then to kill each other. The Snatchers are nothing more than a tool for bringing out this reaction. I am simply using the Snatchers to elicit the true nature of the human animal.
I think this experiment has shown me the limits of human society. I sincerely doubt it will be able to reach any greater level of prosperity on its own. If human society ever hopes to reach greater heights, what is needed is an absolute leader, a firm ruler who isn't affected by these trivial episodes of mistrust.
You're crazy if you think people would ever obey Snatchers.
Of course they wouldn't. But if they don't know, they cannot object. There has been a time in every age that the people have longed for a god to lead them. As long as they give the people no reason to suspect them, then they can easily become their gods, indeed, a new race of super beings. We are almost there. Once we perfect the artificial skin, Snatchers will transcend man to become this planet's true human beings.
But you'll never get your perfect skin now. Professor Modner is dead.
I no longer have any use for my father. I have a sample of the new skin he developed. Once I've analyzed it, I'll be able to make as much as I need. Or if need be, we could simply culture the keratinized cells, epithelial cells, and melanocytes in the quantities that we need.
What are you talking about? How could you get a sample of perfected artificial skin?
Why don't you take a look at this? We found this in the rubble of Queen's Hospital.
Random!
Oh, an acquaintance of yours?
He's a Snatcher?
That term isn't exactly accurate. This bioroid was constructed by my father without my knowledge. He modeled it after me in my youth. He built it right here in this facility. And not only that, he programmed it to destroy Snatchers. This bioroid caused me serious difficulties. It's designed and built far better than my Snatchers. The machine itself thought it was human. My father input memories for it all the way back to childhood. Those too were apparently mine. Haven't you yet realized? Random Hajil is Elijah Modner spelled backwards. How like my father, silly old man. He did virtually overnight what I could not do in 40 years of effort. Furthermore, he makes a bioroid so perfect, even the bioroid itself believes itself to be real. What's more, the cells of the skin he developed are self-replicating. Once in place, no further transplants or culturing is necessary.
Is he dead?
Its main and locomotive systems are completely shut down. It's just scrap now. But the artificial skin is being kept alive. This we need. With this, we can move to phase 2 of our plan of full-scale infiltration of the world's major nations.
The summit's already over. You'll never succeed.
What does the summit matter? Nothing holds us back now that we have this perfect skin. We can go anywhere we want, and there will be no way to tell us apart. I will have free control over the world. Nothing will be able to stop me. Politics and free thought will no longer have any meaning. My will alone will decide the course of human history.
You egomaniac. Do you think you can snatch the entire population?
There's a fully automated Snatcher factory under the Kremlin. Even as we speak, scores of new Snatchers are being born.
But no matter how hard you try, you won't be able to snatch the people's heart and soul. What do you hope to gain from this anyway?
Jamie, the human race is composed of fools. But I'm different. I will be its savior. Indeed, not just of mankind, but of all life on the planet.
I'm afraid that won't be possible.
Metal!
In 10 minutes, this church will be struck by a phased particle beam. I am guiding the beam from the attack satellite using GPS and 15 navigational satellites. The beam cannot miss. Everything in a 2 to 3 kilometer radius from me will be destroyed.
Stop this foolishness now. I will
not have my research destroyed by some souped-up pocket calculator.
Metal, what happened at the summit?
The delegates, worried about the Snatcher menace, voted unanimously to allow the use of nuclear weapons on the city. The military is presently imposing a quarantine on Neo Kobe.
What? Do they intend to kill everybody?
The populace is in a state of panic. However, they have agreed to lift the quarantine if this church is struck by the phase particle beam. This is our last chance. I will handle things here. Gillian, Jamie, you two must flee.
You insignificant mass of metal. You'll never...
One move and I detonate. Gillian, run!
Metal, this is crazy!
We can't let a single Snatcher get out of here. And this new artificial skin has to be destroyed as well.
I will not allow some talking scrap pile to get away with this. If you were the aiming point for the beam, then I'll just have you thrown out of here. Grab this little one and take him out of here. Cowardly little robot.
You always were a real pain in the butt.
What's that?
What? How did... You're supposed to be deactivated.
I don't go down that easy, old man.
Stop this foolish...
Shut up! Let's try to make our final moments peaceful, shall we? And you Snatchers, you touch the little guy and the old man's head comes off.
Random!
I've always hated being used. Why don't you watch the final act with me?
Gillian, you only have 5 minutes. The turbo cycle is just outside on standby. Use that to flee.
Let me go. I'm Elijah Modner. I'm your original.
I don't care if I'm an original or a copy or what. You and I are gonna die right here. If we both die, there won't be a copy anymore now, will there?
The stupid logic of a simpleton, of a machine.
Whatever it is, it's my will.
Machines have no will. Machines cannot sacrifice themselves.
We'll see about that.
You have 4 minutes. You must go. And don't forget to take care of the factory under the Kremlin.
Stop!
Gillian, even if these memories in my head are fiction...
Yeah, I know what you mean. Our memories of our time together are all too real, Random.
Gillian, you become one hell of a junker.
Gillian, it has been most recreational being your partner.
Oh, Metal!
If you can, try to pick up the pieces for me, okay? Like we did for Little John.
Little John? Oh!
What?
Okay, Metal.
Hurry! You only have 3 minutes.
Thanks! Thanks, you two! Jamie, come on!
No! Don't let her go! No!
You pathetic old fool! You don't even know how to love someone!
You stupid machine! What is that idiotic grin supposed to mean?
By snatching you, I'm finally gonna get my real self back!
Random, there's less than 1 minute to go. Thanks to you, everything will be fine.
You don't owe me any thanks. Sorry to get you involved in such a big job. You did great. You're a hell of a junker.
3, 2, 1, here it comes!
Later, kid!
Merry Christmas.
How are you enjoying this very Hideo Kojima cutscene?
I should have grabbed the popcorn.
I mean, you can mute your mic and go.
So you're really going, aren't you?
It's our responsibility, too. Besides, if I go to Moscow, I may get some of my memory back. And if that happens, I'll be able to love you even more than I do now. Wait for me. I want to be with you, but first I've got to destroy this terrible factory of theirs. Jamie, when I get back, let's try living together again. What do you say?
13 Special Operations Squad and all objective personnel. Report immediately for departure.
We'll be waiting for you, too.
Katrina! Mika! You're here too?
You better be happy, Buster, with all these beautiful women seeing you off.
I'm happy you came. Let me introduce my wife.
Jamie Seed. I suppose it's a little odd introducing myself a second time, though.
What do you mean? You've never met them before, have you?
What are you talking about, Gillian? We're good friends.
Huh? Since when?
It's the first time I've met her in person, but I've spoken with her on the video phone a lot of times.
What? Have you guys been talking about me behind my back?
I just realized their hairs are red, blue, and yellow.
I'm going to throw up a save state. Oh, error saving state. Great. Save state as... Okay. So now, if I load state, error, load state as... Okay, alright, I just want to make sure that worked. Alright, so maybe we can play with this ending a little bit? I'm actually unsure, but...
I have no idea.
Wait, so you have to choose your lover here, or what?
I have no idea if there's anything I can do here.
This is all simulation.
But I...
So have they finalized what they're going to do about Junker operations? I suppose this will end up being our last mission, huh?
Well, originally they were planning on disbanding the team, but now they've decided to keep us in business.
So that means
That's right. We've been designated as one of the government's special police divisions. That puts us above the regular cops.
So the government has decided that crime by machines poses a bigger threat than crime by humans from here on out, huh?
They've chosen the new chief, too. So when you get back, you'll get to meet the new head honcho.
Well, it's comforting to know I've got a place I can come back to.
Whatever you do, just come home safe, okay?
When you get back from this job, you still have a dinner date to keep with me, you know.
Don't worry. I won't forget my promises to either of you. Oops, almost forgot. Of course, I want to spend some private moments with my wife, too, huh? What's wrong, Jamie?
Harry and I will be waiting for you to get home.
That's Harry's hat.
We can do it this time, Gillian. Not some fake couple like before, but with love and trust.
I know, Jamie.
Take care, Gillian.
I'll see you, Jamie.
Wait for me! Take me with you, please!
You?
He's a Sega CD.
Metal?
Yes, sir! We didn't have a good frame to work with, so this is just a temporary body. Just call me Metal Gear, Sega CD for now.
So they found your memory chip in one piece, eh?
Random protected it from the blast of the beam.
Random, huh? Wait a second. I've heard that sneeze somewhere before.
Really? I didn't hear anything. Anyway, I want to know if you'll take me with you. Please, Gillian, please take me with you.
Hurry up and get on board, partner.
Yes, sir, Gillian.
Throughout history, suspicion has always bred conflict. The real conflict, though, resides in people's hearts. This conflict has just begun.
Yeah, we did it.
What rank did you get?
Big boss.
That's a good call.
Won't know until the title or the credit sequence is done.
Oh god, is he gonna phone call say?
Wait, is this actually ranked? I don't remember.
I don't. I'm just making shit up.
Okay. Well, you have the guide open, right? So I was like, wait a sec.
Is it gonna after the credit scene? Is it gonna say yes, Mr. President?
Is this in the Metal Gear universe?
I don't know how to answer that. I don't think it is, but
Will Lucifer Alpha get unleashed at some point?
no. Okay, so there's a Dr. Modnar who made Raiden's like cyborg situation after he got hurt, right? So that's a thing in the universe, right? There's also Metal Gear Alpha, Metal Gear 2, whatever, Metal Gear Mark 2. Both of those things happen in MGS4. Kind of. As far as I know, those are pretty much all the references.
Okay, so it's its own thing, but it gets referenced.
Yeah.
Some context.
The more stronger connection is fucking Meryl is in Police Knots.
Oh, really?
Yeah. By the way, I am delaying us starting Police Knots because holy damn, I can't believe I did this to myself. I think I'm burned out on visual novels.
I don't blame you.
I think I'm a little burned out.
I can load up Higurashi.
Good lord.
God.
So, there's a couple options. One, we can do another, like, horror multi-pack, because I got more of that, that one guy's games with the VHS aesthetic. He goes by Chilla's Art now. But yeah, I got some more of his games. And I also have White Day, which is like a Japanese school horror game. So I was thinking we can just like do that as a stream sometime.
You with the horror games.
Yeah.
They work with the scare cam.
I don't know if Andrew, if you want to fight me for the honor of playing Fire Emblem versus Gilmore Girls.
Oh, I'll knock that out.
You got that?
That's a game. That's also Fire Emblem from that.
Okay, so that's a stream. You want to just do that next week?
Sure.
Okay. Oh look, Ramen Guy. There he is.
Oh yeah, Raven Steve. That's the random.
Yeah. There's only like 7 voice actors, I think. So I will say, I still really love this game, but on the second playthrough, I'm the cracks are starting to show for me in regards to like storytelling and stuff like that. But ultimately, I'm most interested in hearing Jihun's opinion about it because Andrew and I have both played this before.
Oh, all the way? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that long a game.
I mean, it's a good game, yeah, but it's kind of crazy how like you only play the first half because remaining half is just straight up cutscene only.
Only the last like hour.
Yeah.
It was pretty much just the last hour.
Yeah, it is. Like, well, we played this. We did this stream like what 3 times, and first time was there was a lot of investigation, and then second was like half.
It felt like kind of half and half. I can see that.
And then third in the today's episode,
all cutscene.
Yeah, like 1/5 is you controlling, and remaining 4 is just you just let the game do all the talking and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sorry you had to sit through that, Jihun. Like, Andrew and I both knew what was coming tonight, and we tried to warn you. Like, there is an hour-long cutscene at the end of this game.
Yeah. I mean, actually, you'd have been more convincing if you said it's a Hideo Kojima cutscene. Then I would have been, oh, fuck, okay, I should grab a popcorn then.
Yeah, Andrew and I both knew what was coming.
Well, I did say it was long.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't specify how long.
Yeah, the next game that I want to do a series of playing with is Police Knots, and then I'm jonesing to do Panzer Dragoon Saga. Really exciting about that one.
I know these. I just noticed this end credit scene, screen of like Gillian, Hajime, and all the three ladies. I'm like, they were not that they didn't really try the cutscene. Honestly, they were not the major character, especially the blue hair girl. She's almost
I do
nobody.
wish there were more scenes with them. I don't know. I could definitely see a version of this game where you kind of pick who you end up with at the end. But I think in order for that to have happened, I feel like they need to earn that by like having just one more scene with each of them, like actually going out to dinner with Mika. Uh, I don't even know for Katrina. You know.
Yeah, yeah, and the last scene where like all three girls come out of, they all get together and like all of a sudden they're friends. What?
Yeah.
People have relationships outside of your periphery.
The thing is, though, is like all this took place in like a couple days.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
It was
oh,
like,
you're right. It's
like a 2 or 3 day game. I think you slept one time.
Yeah.
All took place on Christmas. Christmas game.
Yeah. Yeah, much in the vein of Die Hard, Snatcher is a Christmas game. Sucks that we're finishing it on January 16th, but you know, here we are.
Better late than never.
Yeah.
like I said in the previous stream, Persona 4 Golden is also a perfect Christmas game. If you time it just right, then yeah.
I think if we're still doing this by next December, I want to do Valhalla, which is another visual novel game.
Oh,
but it takes place over like a week or so in December. Or like from December to like January.
When you said Valhalla, I was thinking the Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
No. VA11 Hall A Valhalla. Yeah, I adore that game, and I've been looking for a reason to like really replay it. I guess I'm waiting a year for it, but there's also a sequel coming out for it sometime. I haven't heard anything about it being announced for this year, so maybe it could be like a lead up to that. I don't know. We'll see. But I really want to play Valhalla as like another way of getting into the spirit. I have another dumb idea. The Shenmue series.
Oh, you got Shenmue 3?
I mean, why do you do that to yourself? Why do you try to torture yourself?
Wait, what are you saying? The Shenmue games they're fine. They're like video game versions of like Tommy Wiseau films.
They're the I mean, I know that game is old, but they're like bootleg version of Yakuza.
Yeah.
I mean, if you
Look,
really want to do it,
Shenmue fucking crawled so Yakuza could run.
Yeah, that's a way of saying it. Yeah. I mean, if you're really looking forward to it, I'm not gonna stop you. I have no authority over you. This is your stream channel, after all.
Yeah. Next Friday we'll do something else to break up the monotony. Yeah, we're going to take a small break from the visual novel format, but we'll be back eventually with Police Knots and then Panzer Dragoon Saga. And I don't know after that. But that should hold us over for a few months. Neither of those games should be as long as Sakura Wars took.
And were you not happy with how long Sakura War took? Or?
I was not expecting it to be that long of a game.
That was pretty long.
That being said, I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, it was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I'm thinking about winding the stream down. Any other closing remarks?
I mean, overall, I already witnessed this game, and I was starting to remember little bits as we went through, especially when random showed up. I just kind of keep my trap shut.
Yeah.
But, good overall concept. I don't like the final, just you have two instances of the villain kind of just doing their speech. That's kind of lame. But sort of I kind of agree with Gene. I wish there was more investigative aspects. The early game, I felt it should have been more of that. But story's fun. I like the concepts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will say, Police Nuts is more of a point and click. It's like finding the object, like the right object in the room to look at. That sort of thing. There's also like a lot of dialogue trees and stuff like that. But it's a little bit less like menu based than Snatcher is. Like I'm actually able to like move a mouse cursor around. Yeah, so for Police Nuts, I will literally be using the Saturn mouse, by the way.
Hell yeah. You got some training with Sakura War.
Yeah.
Yeah, I must say I'm impressed by the technology. How they did a cutscene. I was like, wow, for old school game, the cutscenes are impressive.
Yeah, and it's not that different in the original version. It was made in what, 88? Yeah. Yeah, 88. And it doesn't really like the style of the game is intact. How you have like the different like cutscenes with like people's faces popping in blocks and their mouths moving and stuff. I think, like the style of the game is still very intact. With Sega CD, I think they added like the voices. So like everything about that. God, the main thing I wish, and a lot of Sega CD games like suffer from this because it wasn't. People are still kind of figuring this out. Is God, I wish these games had subtitles.
Yeah.
Just because it would make it easier to stream them.
Oh yeah. I wonder if this game would have a benefit of being remade for current generation.
If they haven't done it by now, I can't see why they ever would, especially with like given the whole like Konami Kojima thing.
Oh, that's true. Yes.
Unless somebody somehow buys the rights for it.
I don't know. Konami. I'm sure they're making a lot of money only from the pachinko machine right now, but they're just and that's their only source of income. I don't know. Otherwise, I don't know what they're doing with their IP. I mean, we talked about this last year for sure about
Mhm.
Suikoden. They're sitting on that IP, doing nothing, literally nothing. They're not even looking into if somebody is interested. They're the creator had to. Sadly, the creator had to make their own spiritual sequel.
Yeah. I should
This
check up
one-
on that. It's been a little while since I have.
Oh yeah, it's on Kickstarter. Yeah.
Yeah. I know it was successfully funded. Definitely, like people went crazy over it, but I don't know if there's been any like in progress updates.
I was looking up stuff on subtitles and found I guess apparently Dragon's Lair is the first video game with spoken audio, like voiceover.
Okay. I will say Dragon Slayer is barely a video game, but
It's like hit left, down,
yeah, it's like hit left or hit right.
I mean, isn't that basically a quick time event?
Yeah.
Maybe the first video game with QT then too.
That's more debatable.
I mean, it's possible.
Oh, I wanted to look something up, and I'll go ahead and take this time to do that. Uh, okay, okay, this might be a bad look. Okay, so, Snatcher was originally published in '88. We've played a game on this channel before, and I brought this up yesterday. Jesus, the Tale of the Dreadful Biomonster, bears some striking similarities. They were both released on the same platform. Jesus was made a year earlier.
Huh.
But yeah, the gameplay is strikingly similar. And yeah, I'd just be really interested to learn, like, how like ingrained of like a genre like this like format of playing a game is over in Japan, because it's not something we saw for many years later, because none of these games really made it over till this one. But yeah, Jesus and Snatcher are like so similar in terms of gameplay that it's like I wonder if Kojima or whoever is responsible for the actual gameplay design was like playing Jesus and then like was like, I want to make one of those, you know. Yeah, I don't know if there's any articles about that.
Oh, so like literal beginning of the stream, I talked about I purchased Snatcher, and I still haven't gotten my code from GameStop.
What game? I'm sorry.
I like in the Discord. It's basically, my understanding is it's a 2D Metroidvania style triple battle Pokemon game.
For the benefit of the recording, Monster Sanctuary.
Oh, that's the name.
Yeah.
It looks dope. A lot of people liked it.
Cool. I feel like I've heard a friend talking about it before. I don't remember. I wasn't really paying attention to like what they said about it. It was just something on Twitter.
Speaking of Monster Century or Pokemon, you said. Do we talk about Pokemon Snap?
Yeah, I mentioned it last
we
time.
did a little bit last time.
Everybody says I'm not buying that shit.
Oh yeah, we did talk about the whole Game Boy printer. Yeah, we did.
They too little too late as far as I'm concerned. I might still get it if it ever comes out to like a discount, but I doubt it ever will.
I mean, Nintendo games they're not known to give a discount.
$40. Yeah. Hey, that's 33% off.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know yet.
I mean, did you guys actually play Pokemon Snap back in the 64 days? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I even played like the old like Blockbuster machine. I have like the little card that you would basically save the pictures to and then take them to Blockbuster and print.
Oh, was it back when the ink cartridge was cheap compared to the 2020? Cartridge in it.
I don't know. I was like 9 years old.
Oh, yeah, you didn't have to worry about money at that age, yeah. So you were asking last time what kind of
what's your game?
Well, what game would I want like kind of like some like total conversion like longevity-inducing mod. I'm going to sidestep that question and say that I want there to be a mod for every story-based game where you have like a talking main character, where you replace the main character's voice with a small child saying all the lines.
Or you
So
could
it's
just
like,
let them.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite place on the Citadel.
Hell yeah.
And my
I
reply
think modders need to concentrate their resources on that.
and my reply today would be, "Stay away from the summoner."
Yeah. But no, in my world, it would just be Titus, who sounds like a little baby.
Well, what about the laughing scene? I don't think even baby can make a sound.
I like the mods that change all music and sound effects to the laugh. That exists.
Yeah.
Just laughing forever.
All right, so we've padded this for 2 hours. I kind of want to cut it off here. So next stream will be some Fire Emblem ROM hacks, it sounds like.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So get your shit in gear, Andrew. You're playing.
Oh boy. Hopefully my internet works out okay.
Yeah.
Make sure Cox works.
Yeah. Gotta make sure my cocks are fully loaded.
Is it Mega Blast or Mega Burst?
Gigablast.
Gigablast.
Gigablast, okay.
Damn it.
Okay. I'm cutting off the stream. Farewell.
Bye bye.